Ever wondered why you can recount the details of your favorite concert from a decade ago, but can't quite recall what you had for lunch just 2 days ago? Or why siblings growing up in the same household can have wildly different memories of the same family vacation? If so, you're not alone. Welcome to the fascinating, and sometimes frustrating, world of selective memory, a fundamental aspect of human cognition that shapes our understanding of the past and ourselves. Our brains are incredible biological supercomputers, capable of processing vast amounts of information every second. But here's the crucial part. They aren't perfect recording devices, like a camera capturing every single pixel. Instead, our memories are more like highly curated scrapbooks, actively filtering, editing, and sometimes even inventing details. This isn't a flaw. It's an evolutionary masterpiece, a survival mechanism that helps us navigate an overwhelmingly complex world. So, why do we remember selectively? Let's dive into the intricate mechanisms behind this cognitive phenomenon. One of the primary reasons is sheer capacity. Imagine trying to remember every single sensation, every sound, every detail you've experienced since birth. It's an impossible task. Our brains are designed for efficiency, not for perfect recall of every triviality. They prioritize. Just like you wouldn't pack your entire wardrobe for a weekend trip to Miami, your brain doesn't store every piece of information. It picks what it deems important, relevant, or emotionally significant. This prevents cognitive overload, allowing us to focus on what truly matters for survival, learning, and decision-making. Evolutionarily speaking, our ancestors didn't need to remember the precise shade of every leaf in the forest, but they absolutely needed to remember which berries were poisonous, where the nearest water source was, and which sound signaled danger. Selective memory is a legacy of that need for practical, adaptive information processing. Another powerful driver of selective memory is emotion. Memories tied to strong emotions, whether joy, fear, excitement, or profound sadness, often stick with us more vividly and for longer periods. Think about where you were when you heard about a major historical event, like 9/11, or a deeply personal milestone like your wedding day or high school graduation. These flashbulb memories feel incredibly detailed and accurate because the emotional charge acts like a powerful mental bookmark, enhancing their encoding and retrieval. Our limbic system, particularly the amygdala, plays a key role here, tagging emotionally significant experiences for stronger retention. Beyond emotions, cognitive biases significantly influence what we remember. One prominent example is confirmation bias. This is our tendency to seek out, interpret, favor, and recall information in a way that confirms our existing beliefs or hypotheses. If you're a staunch supporter of a particular political candidate, you'll likely remember every positive speech or policy proposal they make, while conveniently forgetting or downplaying any missteps or controversial statements from them, or positive attributes from their opponents. It's not necessarily intentional malice. It's how our brain tries to maintain internal consistency and reinforce our worldview. Then there's the self-serving bias. We tend to remember our successes more vividly and attribute them to our own abilities, while failures are often downplayed or blamed on external circumstances. You might recall acing that challenging exam because of your hard work and intelligence, but that one test you flunked? Well, the teacher was unfair. Or you had a bad day. This bias helps protect our self-esteem and maintain a positive self-image, which is crucial for psychological well-being. Our existing knowledge structures, known as schemas, also play a crucial role. A schema is a mental framework that helps us organize and interpret information. When we encounter new information, our brain tries to fit it into these existing schemas. Sometimes, this means we might slightly alter a memory to make it fit, or we might fill in the blanks with details that should have been there according to our schema, even if they weren't actually present. For example, if you remember visiting a doctor's office, your schema for doctor's offices might include magazines in the waiting room, even if the specific office you visited didn't have any. Your brain might add them to your memory to make it more consistent with your general understanding. The context in which we learn something also affects our recall. This is known as context-dependent memory. We often remember things better when we are in the same physical environment, emotional state, or even the same mood as when we first learned or experienced them. Trying to recall a specific detail from your childhood home might be easier when you're physically there, rather than thousands of miles away in a bustling city like Chicago. Even the position of information in a sequence matters. The primacy and recency effects show that we tend to remember the items at the beginning of a list, primacy, and at the end of a list, recency, more effectively than those in the middle. Think about meeting a group of new people at a networking event in New York City. You're more likely to remember the first and last person you spoke with. Selective memory isn't always about what we times remember *, but also about what we times forget *. The brain actively prunes unused connections and memories over time through a process called memory decay. If a memory isn't revisited or reinforced, it gradually fades. This is perfectly normal and, again, essential for making space for new, more relevant information. Imagine if you never forgot a single password you've ever created for every website or app. The mental clutter would be overwhelming. So, what are the implications of this selective process? On one hand, it's incredibly adaptive. It allows us to focus on crucial information, form coherent narratives about our lives, and protect our self-esteem. It prevents us from being paralyzed by an onslaught of unfiltered data. On the other hand, it has significant drawbacks. It contributes to disagreements in eyewitness testimonies, can lead to misunderstandings in relationships when people have conflicting recollections, and can even influence historical narratives by emphasizing certain aspects while downplaying others. Our individual and collective memories are constantly being shaped, not just recorded. Understanding selective memory helps us appreciate the incredible, yet inherently subjective, nature of our own minds. It teaches us to be more critical of our own recollections and more empathetic toward others whose memories may differ from ours. It's a reminder that our past isn't a fixed, objective truth, but a dynamic, constructed narrative that our brains constantly work to maintain, for better or for worse. So, the next time you find yourself forgetting where you put your keys but vividly remembering the details of your road trip across Route 66, cut yourself some slack. Your brain isn't malfunctioning. It's simply doing its job, efficiently and selectively curating your experiences, to help you make sense of the world, one carefully chosen memory at a time. It's a profound testament to the complex and adaptive machinery that makes us uniquely human.